Hello and welcome back to another video on high altitude investing. In today's video, we are going to be talking about Tron and just how high I think Tron is going to go in the near future. So as you can see, we have Tron over here on the left and we have Bitcoin over here on the right. And what I'm showing here with this fractal comparison is the similarities between this early cycle on Bitcoin and what happened as Bitcoin went parabolic and what's going on right now with Tron. There's a lot of similarities. There's a lot of overlap between these two charts. And the reason for this is because markets are cyclical in nature and they're fractal in nature as well. So you see the same patterns appearing over and over again in the markets. Now with this Tron example, you can see Tron is really preparing for a very parabolic run soon that could easily take us over $1. We could hit $1.50 or even higher on this parabolic run for Tron. So the big picture looks super bullish for this coin and it has a very strong uptrend. As you can see, Tron has been consistently uptrending for multiple years now. In fact, Tron is one of those coins that has held up very good during corrections, during bear markets. It's held its value really well. And it's really doing good. It's set up for some pretty big things, and I believe it will blow a lot of people away very soon. So now that we've talked a little bit about the bigger picture, and by the way, just so you know, this isn't where I'm saying Tron has to stop going. It could go way higher than $1.50. If this is the mass adoption phase for crypto, Tron could go way higher than $1.50. But just for the purposes of today's video, I wanted to show you guys the similarities between this earlier cycle on Bitcoin and the cycle we're currently seeing on Tron. But it could completely blow away our expectations and go through the roof all the way to levels that people are just simply not dreaming of right now. So with that being said, let's go ahead and check out the smaller time frames on Tron. So on the daily candlesticks, we also see a very classic market cycle structure. You can see a parabolic run here, a pullback down to major support, and we're starting to see a rounded bottom and a recovery. So the short term looks like we will continue to see more upside, breaking above these local resistance levels and eventually getting above 45 cents here at our previous local high. Now, as this happens, that will create a massive rounded bottom structure, which will be very bullish and very obviously bullish to the majority of people, showing a lot of people that this market will be going a lot higher. Everybody will start to pile in, and you know what happens when people get excited and when they start telling their friends. The price can go very vertical. We also have a bit of a bullish flag structure here with Tron, so you can take our trend line tool and you can see a bull flag here. Now I know there's this huge pump right here at the top of the bull flag, but if you count that as a wick on a bigger time frame, this does look like a very typical bullish flag pattern for Tron, which is a bullish continuation pattern. So this is a perfect example of how sometimes those patterns are going to be a little bit different. And especially with crypto being very high volatility, you will get these huge wicks that kind of break up above patterns or break down below the normal range of the pattern. It does not invalidate the pattern. All that it means is that crypto is very volatile, and sometimes people get super excited and then super fearful really quickly, and it creates a little bit of a deviation from that pattern and from the structure that you'd normally see. But with that being said, this does look like a nice bull flag pattern for Tron, classic bullish flag structure, which is a bullish continuation pattern and would suggest that Tron will break out to a new high. And just zooming back out onto the 10-day time frame here, you guys can see how powerful this uptrend is. If you've never looked at early day trends and studied what a market cycle can do, Tron is really a perfect example of what a market cycle looks like early on, before it goes parabolic, before it goes vertical, and before it goes to the moon. A perfect example of this would be the NASDAQ Composite Index. As you can see here with the NASDAQ, price early on in the uptrend was just trending up very nicely with higher highs and higher lows. A very steady, consistent uptrend here on the NASDAQ. Then as price got more parabolic, you can see it went more and more vertical, and that created a classic parabolic run and vertical move here on the NASDAQ. So that's what an early day market cycle looks like. You will see that higher high, higher low pattern where it's steadily trending up. Then it starts to build more and more momentum. As that momentum picks up, then it goes parabolic and really goes vertical in price. And you can see just how high the NASDAQ has gone since that early day accumulation, since that early day uptrend that was forming on the NASDAQ. You can see we've continued to see a massive uptrend forming on the NASDAQ. Now, this is important to understand because the trend is your friend. Even though there has been bear markets like the internet bubble pop right here, 2008 right here, the COVID drop right here, our crash that we had in 2022, the market is steadily trending up. So if you can find a good solid uptrend and hold on through that uptrend, you can really make a lot of money trading these markets, whether it's stocks or crypto or silver. Find those uptrends, find markets that have demand, and just let the trend be your friend. This is why the richest and the wealthiest investors are looking at holding on to their investments over the longer term, and they're looking at the bigger picture instead of trying to predict every single move happening on those smaller time frames, because they know that corrections will happen, which will provide buying opportunities. But if something has demand, that trend is going to continue up. It's going to keep going higher and higher. Not without corrections, and sometimes even not without depressions, but the recovery will happen and the growth will continue to happen over time. And that's exactly what we see here with the NASDAQ Composite, which is in a massive uptrend right now and should continue quite a bit higher here before we see another major correction or bear market like we saw during the internet bubble or even like the Great Depression back in the 1900s. And with that being said, one of the reasons that crypto is so uber bullish right now is because the stock market is set up for a parabolic run. It's doing exactly like what happened during the internet bubble, where people got really excited. And really, we're having a repeat of what happened during the internet bubble and also what happened during the Roaring 20s. The stock market is getting ready for a very vertical move. And when that vertical move happens, crypto is going to go completely nuts. And you can see it in the chart. You can see that this is really ramping up for something big. The stock market is insanely bullish right now, and that's very good for the crypto markets. And really what's coming for the stock market is what's called a blow-off top, and that's the most parabolic, most exciting, most vertical move that happens in any market. You can see that's what happened over here on Bitcoin when Bitcoin went from being worth about $5,000 all the way up to $20,000. And that's exactly what we're preparing for over here on the stock market. So imagine a very vertical move coming in the stock market, fueling crypto, fueling all of these different industries as the world economy goes crazy and as the money printer goes nuts too. We're going to see a huge parabolic run in the stock market, and that's going to fuel crypto like crazy. It's going to create a Roaring 20s 2.0. It's going to create an internet bubble 2.0. It's going to be very profitable for everybody holding on throughout that period. Now, the thing that you have to remember is a lot of people got really rich during the roaring 20s and during the internet bubble, but a lot of people didn't take profits and a lot of people lost a lot of money as well. So just understand that as you guys make a lot of money on the upside, be aware of taking profits, be aware of putting your money into cash. My plan is to put it into cash, put it into real estate, put it into things that like gold, silver, even though they may go down during a depression, over the long term, they're guaranteed to retain value and recover and be worth more in the future. Back over to Tron, you can see just how early on this cycle really is for Tron. So during that period of growth that we're going to see in the stock market, you can expect Tron to go very vertical and very parabolic, just like another internet bubble or another roaring 20s 2.0. Crypto kind of being the forefront of that technology that's going to make a lot of people very rich and very wealthy. So yeah, that's my video on Tron. I hope you guys enjoyed it and you learned something. If you did, please do me a favor and share with your friends. I look forward to seeing you guys in future videos. Also, let me know what you guys think of my analysis. Do you agree with me? What do you see differently? Let me know in the comment section down below, and I will see you guys in future videos and live streams. As always, stay profitable out there.